All right, everyone, settle in. Today, we're going to dive into a beautiful little tale called The Whispers of Willow Creek. It's this wonderful story about a village that's gone quiet, a sound that everyone's forgotten, and, the courage it takes to bring it all back.
So our story kicks off in this quiet, almost picture-perfect village, the kind of place where the rooftops are always golden, and here we meet a girl named Alara. She's got a huge heart, but she's also carrying this sadness that kind of mirrors her whole town, because a really strange, heavy silence has just fallen over everything.
And that strange silence? Well, that's really where our story gets going. This is part 1, the forgotten laughter, and the mysterious call that's about to change absolutely everything for Alara.
Now, this is a pretty simple problem, but it's also incredibly profound. I mean, can you imagine that? A place with no giggles, no chuckles, not a single joyful sound to be heard? That was Alara's world. This heavy, oppressive quiet had just settled over everyone and everything. But then one evening, as the wind is rustling through the willow trees, Alara hears it. It's this tiny little voice, not much louder than a leaf falling, and it's whispering to her from the edge of the dark woods, a voice that nobody else seemed to hear. So, what would you do? Seriously, if you heard a voice calling just your name from a dark forest, would you just ignore it and run home? Or would you be like Alara? Would you feel that pull, that deep down feeling that you just had to follow it? Well, she did. She stepped right off the path and into those whispering woods. And with that one single step, her whole quest begins. So chapter 2 is going to take us deep into the woods, and this is where she's going to find some brand new friends and some really, really old foes. So, following this tiny dancing light, Alara finds this little fella. His name is Finn. He's a forest spirit, kind of made of moss and morning dew. He tells her he's a keeper of laughter, and his light, well, it's fading fast because all the happy sounds have been stolen from the village. And you can just see the difference here, right? You've got Finn's fragile, gentle light on one side, and on the other, the reason for his trouble. This terrifying thing known only as the gloom. This is the shadowy being that stole all the laughter and locked it away in the dark.
So, as Alara and Finn are pushing deeper into the woods, something just bursts out of the bushes. But it wasn't the gloom. Nope, it was this guy, a badger all tangled up in vines, wearing an old saucepan on his head like a helmet. And he introduces himself, very proudly I might add, as Sir Snort the Brave. I mean, the sight of Sir Snort was just so silly, Alara couldn't stop herself from giggling. And he laughed right back. And in that one moment, they made this huge discovery. As they chased these clumsy little shadow blobs around, their shared laughter actually made Finn's light glow brighter. They'd found their weapon against the darkness, joy itself. But all that laughter, it didn't exactly go unnoticed. It echoed all the way to the heart of the forest and, well, it woke something up. And that brings us to the climax of our story, the Shadow's Riddle. The ground starts to tremble, and the gloom itself just rises up out of the darkness, a towering, faceless void. And its voice, it booms out, cold as a cave,
demanding to know who dared bring laughter into its quiet domain. And Alara, bless her, bravely steps forward. Now, the gloom challenges her with a riddle. If she can solve it, she gets to keep her laughter. But if she fails, it swallows their joy forever. And this is what it asks her. I have no mouth, yet I speak in storms. I have no hands, yet I lift the fallen. I am born in the heart, yet I live in the air. What am I? So, what's the answer? You can just imagine Eller's mind racing, right? Finn is clinging to her, his little light just flickering nervously. Sir Snort is trembling so hard his saucepan helmet is rattling. What could it possibly be? In that moment, Alara looks at her friends, at Finn's tiny, brave light, and Sir Snort's ridiculous saucepan helmet bravery. And right there, surrounded by all that darkness, she finds her own light. She finds the answer. She actually smiles, and she says, the answer is hope. Just that one word. But she says it with so much confidence that the gloom itself seems to shudder in the dark. The gloom insists the answer is silence, but Alara, she stands her ground. Hope is the voice you hear in the storm, she says. It's what lifts you up when you've fallen down. It's born in your heart, but it lives everywhere, in the very air we breathe. And with those words, the gloom couldn't touch her. It was made of darkness, but she was just full of light. And it just dissolved into a million glittering specks. And right from where it stood, every single stolen laugh, every giggle, every chuckle just poured back out into the world. And that brings us to our final chapter. Alara has faced the darkness, and she won. Now, it's time to go home. As the sun rose, Alara walked back into her village. But it wasn't the same quiet, sad place she'd left behind. No, the streets were filled with sound, with absolute joy. The laughter had come home. And so, our heroes got their happy ending. Alara saved her entire home. Finn, well, he's no longer fading. He's a warm, steady glow on her shoulder. And back at the edge of the woods, you can bet Sir Snort is standing proudly, saucepan at the ready for whatever comes next. And that's really the message of this whole beautiful story, isn't it? It leaves us with this final thought. If you ever feel like something is missing from the world, listen. Listen closely to the whispers around you. They might just be calling you to an adventure of your own, to find your own light, and, maybe most importantly, to share it with the world.